All right, good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you all to another wonderful edition of Monday Team Mental Fitness. And today, our topic is affluence, effluence, and influence. All right, and my name remains Stephen Awem. So, in some few minutes, I would just like to take you through this wonderful topic. And to start with, let's check this quote by Jack Welch. He says, "Before you are a leader, success is about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others." The essence of our Monday Team Mental Fitness is to encourage every one of us that we are born leaders. And then at every place we find ourselves, at any time T, we should be able to influence, whatever set of people we meet on our way. Even at our place of assignment, wherever we find ourselves, the aim of this training is to encourage us to lead well and to lead right. All right. Before you start leading, actually, when you were born, you are not leading actually when you were born, right? It takes a while before, you are being given tasks where you can, be told to lead a certain set of people, but we do say that everyone is born with a leadership, spirit. Everyone has that leadership spirit inherent in them, but, it may not come out until you are being given that opportunity, to lead a set of people. And so until the time you start leading, all right, success is all about growing yourself. So a number of people would say you lead yourself first before you lead others. So when it's all about you, you are thinking about yourself, you are growing yourself. When you are not yet given that opportunity, when you don't have the opportunity to lead a set of people yet, all you think about is growing yourself. But when you now have the opportunity to lead a set of people, your responsibility becomes growing others. And that is what Jack Welch is trying to say here. That success is about growing yourself, but when you become a leader, it's about growing others. And we'll be linking this topic today with what we have here in our quotes. So opening quotes, definition of terms. Let me take that off. Let me define the terms we have. We have affluence, we have effluence, and we have influence. Affluence refers to an abundance of wealth, prosperity, or material possessions within a person, community, or society. And the word effluence means the process of flowing out. Influence, on the other hand, means the capacity or power to affect the thoughts, the behavior, or character of individuals, groups, or the course of events. If you look at these terms, they have a Latin word origin, which is known as fluere. All right, okay, it's known as fluere, and that means to flow out. The word fluere means to flow out. So what makes each and every one of them different is the fact that they have different suffixes, or prefixes. AF, affluence, you see that they all have fluence, right? One talks about abundance, flow of wealth. All right, the effluence itself talks about the process of flowing out. So in industries, when people talk about discharge, when you talk about waste, they use the word effluence. Sometimes, so this is the noun. When you see the verb, the adjective part, effluence. Effluent means discharge or waste. So but because of this training, I'm limiting the meaning, to this, just to make it sink. So the meaning of the word effluence here is the process of flowing out. And then influence itself refers to the capacity or power of an individual to affect the thoughts, the behavior, the character of other individuals, of other groups, or on the course of events. All right, so let me talk about the link between the topic we're having today. So we are talking about effluence in between affluence and what? And influence. All right, what I want to establish today is that in one way or the other, we are all blessed. All right, we are all blessed with wealth of different things. When people talk about affluence, really, they talk about wealth of people. I mean, in terms of money, their riches and all of that. But I want to limit that as well to the fact that we all were born, or are born with gifts. We all are born with talent, and God has given us a place of, for each and every one of us to dwell, to impact, our world. So in that sense, I'm talking about the wealth God has given to us, from creation. All right. I'm talking about influence as well. That whatever God has given to you, you want to give it out to people, through the word effluent. You want to flow it out to people. You want to ensure that you are blessing whoever you meet with whatever God has given to you. So, and that's why we're talking about affluence, effluence, and influence. So you are using whatever God has given to you to bless, whoever you meet along the way. In your place of work, any place you find yourself at any time. See. And because of that, I want to talk about affluence and influence. Fact about affluence and influence. Number one is we are all born to be an influence. And taking it back to when I was born, I realized that I started getting influenced by my parents. The first set of people I got to know, I grew up to meet, are my parents. And in one way or the other, they influenced me, directly or indirectly. And so because of that, that process is a continuous cycle. So we as individuals as well, we are at every point in time influencing someone. You are touching lives in one way or the other. You are affecting the character of somebody, somewhere, some way, somehow, at every time. See, and in that way, we are all born to be an influence. Number two says, if you don't influence, you will be influenced. All right. And what that is saying is that if you don't have the capability to affect lives, definitely, whether you like it or not, you'll be affected. All right. So at every point in time as well, we are all thinking about how to be of advantage, how to flow out what we have, how to give it to people and bless them, in a very tangible way. Number three says, if you succeed in any area of life, it makes you influential. One of the things I wanted to link with this, topic, but I know it's going to take a lot of time, is the fact that we all know that we talk about influencers. I think influencer marketing came around in early 90s, or in the early years, in the early 90s, where we had people like Michael Jordan, because of the fact that they had excelled so well in their field, in his field of basketball, being put on advertisements, because they know that when people like that, because they have so excelled in their area of gifting, when they talk to people, there's a way that they sell out a brand, to a certain set of people, and because of that, those people would want to, patronize, the brand. So influencer marketing came around, I think, the early 90s, where the market or the people realized at that point in time that if you bring people on board that have great value, people that have excelled in their area of, gifting, to advertise your brand, it entices people to want to buy, so from them. So if at any point in time you are thinking about succeeding in any area, definitely that, influence will come at a particular point in time. I mean, influence at another level. Don't forget, we talked about influence when you are still young, when you are coming up, when you are growing up as well, But when you now have a particular area where you have excelled in, what happens is that it makes you very, very influential. Number four is that if you are a failure, no one listens to you, and the level of influence we want to talk about is influencing on a very high level, influencing at a level where you have so excelled in, and then people want to listen to you. But if you are that kind of person that you have so failed, nobody wants to listen to a failure. Everybody wants to listen to someone that has succeeded. So someone that has failed can never have influence. Why do people have influence? Because of the fact that there is money. We all know in our Nigeria that if you have good money, you can easily influence people. And it's the same around the world. Wealthy people naturally have influence. The number six is don't try to be influential. Focus on being successful in an area of life. When you are focusing on being successful in an area of life, naturally you become very, very influential. Number seven is the system of the earth respects success and those that have influence. And number eight is the more wisdom you have, the more wealth you accumulate. So I've just put about this fact about influence and affluence. Let's go to the next one, which is the defining quote. Every opportunity, every influence and affluence you possess could not have been for you alone, but to act as a platform to impact your generation. This was stated by Sunday Adelaja. So the whole idea of this training, where I'm taking it to eventually, is that, like I said from the beginning, we all are wealthy in one way or the other, and the essence of our wealth is to flow it out, to people and then become influential. So every opportunity we have, every influence we gather, every affluence we have, every riches and wealth we have, it is not just for you alone. It is for you to impact, your generation. And so, how can you lead to impact your generation? I'll talk about 7 different things, for you to impact, your generation. And the first one is be credible. All right, be credible. There are 4 elements to establish your credibility, and that is integrity, intent, capabilities, and your results. We're talking about integrity just this morning. You are a man of integrity when what you say is what you do. You are a man of integrity when you walk your talk. You are a man of integrity when at any time you are not somewhere, people can speak for you that this is who you represent. So for you to really lead, or to gain a great impact in your generation, you have to be credible with, through your integrity. Another one is that your intent at every time must be clearly stated. When you are talking to people, you shouldn't be vague at any time. When people hear you, let them understand the motive for which you want to do anything. As well, your capabilities. When your skills are so well sharpened to the extent that you excel at whatever you do, it increases your credibility. And at the same time, results. Nobody argues, with results. When you have results, what it does is that it makes you very credible, and indirectly or directly, it makes you very influential. The number 2 thing is, for you to lead impact in a generation that we are in, you have to engage others and build connection. You have to seek to understand the needs of people. You have to motivate people, and you have to value others. Leadership is not a solo act. We are talking about building your leadership skill, with our Monday Team Mentor Fitness. And we're saying that one of the ways by which you can lead an impact in a generation like ours is to ensure that you engage people and you build connection with them. Try to always focus on the needs of people, not just on the needs of yourself alone. Try to motivate people, to become better. Try to understand the values of others and communicate, to people in their values. Leadership is not just, a solo act. It's not something you do alone. You cannot lead alone. At Bond, you cannot have the CEO doing everything alone. You cannot have the co-founder doing everything alone. You can't have the directors doing everything alone. So there has to be a connection with a set of people that have core values, that can help you drive your vision to the next level. We are talking about having, your affluence in a way that it impacts, in a way that it becomes, a vital tool for influence. Number 3 is that clarify expectations and practice accountability. As a leader, at every time you must be able to delineate expectations, define results, and clearly communicate it to others, and then hold yourself and others accountable to the expectations. One of the things that some leaders do is that, they explain their expectations, but the part of practicing accountability is off it. So as a leader at every time that you want to impact a generation, what you need to always do at every time is that you explain your expectations, and at the same time define the results you are expecting and be a part of it. Don't just be a leader that says it, and doesn't do it. Be a part of it. You are not just leading, because you want to make your life better alone, but you are leading as well to impact, your generation. So at every time, clarify expectation, practice accountability. The 4th one is that as a leader, you must always share your passion. If a leader displays no action for a cause, why should others care about it? Passion produces energy and it ignites people. So if you really want to lead impact in a generation, at every time you must always make your passion, known to people. When you see leaders that have the passion for their job, what it does to people is that people want to follow after that leader, to help such a leader to achieve, their results. I think on Sunday we were still having a conversation around, influencing in a very different way. We're in a world where a lot of things have gone wrong. A lot of things are happening, that never used to happen. So we are called to start leading in a way, that is entirely different. You want to make people, start achieving goals, not just because they want to better themselves, but because they want to better the environment. You want to pick up a leadership role, not because you want to make yourself better, not because you want to make money, into your pocket, because you're thinking of, the collective well-being of people. So at every time, when you see a leader that has this passion, for his or her thing, that she wants to achieve, what it does to people is that people want to follow after such leader. Number 5 is that someone that wants to be influential, that wants to lead and impact in a generation, must him or herself be open to what? To influence. Influence should be reciprocal. Be willing to listen to others' ideas, invite and consider alternative viewpoints. Another thing that we can rightly do, in order to become influential and lead impact in our generation, is to be open to influence ourselves. Don't make it look like you know everything. Don't make it look like, because you are leading a team, you are the best in that team. At every time, be willing to listen to people, get ideas, invite people to understand, what is running through their minds. Consider alternative viewpoints. Listen, put it together. That way you are influencing and you are getting influenced. Number 6, tap into your greatest source of influence. For you to lead impact in your generation and become very influential and lead in a very different way, tap into your own greatest source of influence. You make the most impact in your world through your what? Through your gifting. So make sure you discover, make sure you refine, and make sure you deploy your gift. Going back to the beginning where we defined affluence, and I said that we have a wealth of things, and there's a particular time where we get to start leading people officially. At that point, why not pick someone up and start mentoring? A lot of us, if I ask questions now, that are you mentoring? I don't know so much yet. That's a lie. You know something. Going back to affluence as well, we are wealthy in a particular area. God has given everybody equally. Nobody doesn't have areas where they are being wealthy. So go back, refresh, and look at what you are so good at and start teaching somebody in that area. And that is the essence of being a mentor. When you are doing that, you are helping another person become, better, and you are leading impact in your generation. We can start mentoring at age 5, at age 10, at age 15. Okay, and I would say that, why did I say age 5? I can remember when my younger sister was in primary school, and she was so good at writing stories, right? And I realized that she would write stories for her friend, and they will come around. She will write stories, she will come around. And because of that too, our friend started trying, to write stories. What happened? She has passed on that gift that she has, that gift of writing, to her other colleagues. And in a way, she has mentored them to become, better. So you need to look back and check within yourself that what am I very good at, and then you can start mentoring in such areas. So closing quote is that leadership is not a matter of authority. It is a matter of influence. A true leader teaches others to understand more, motivates them to be more, and inspires them to be more. The whole idea of affluence, effluence, and influence is that you are wealthy in an area. It doesn't have to be money alone now. You are wealthy in different areas that the Creator has blessed you with. And what you need to do with it is to flow it out, and influence people with that thing that you have been blessed with. And you realize that it is not about authority when you are influencing people. It is about you thinking of how to make others understand more, how to, motivate them to become more, and then how to inspire them to become more. So I want to encourage everyone, with this training, that look within yourself. There is something you have, that you can give to others. It's a generation that needs, a lot of repair. And it starts with you. It starts with myself. Think about what you can give to the, to the people around you. Start mentoring in whatever way you can. Start leading in whatever way you can. Think about people. Think about how to make them better. And very soon, our world will become a better place. Thank you for joining me today. Should you have comments, you have suggestions, you have questions, please do well to drop it in our chat box. Thank you, and see you some other time.